Hi everyone, it's your girl Simone from Uniquely Me and of course God's Daily Portion. Now guys, there is something that has become very dear to my heart and I wanted to partner with you to make it happen. You've heard the term period poverty and I have been hearing it for a while now, but it's seemingly becoming closer to home. Many of our girls and women are finding it hard to afford sanitary napkins. Not only that, but we have found that there has been a stigma attached to the whole matter of menstruation or period. There's a shame attached to it. And guys, how can we be shameful about something that God has made to be quite natural? I mean, a woman or a girl has absolutely no control over what happens where that's concerned to her body. It's a natural function of the body. However, it still does not negate the fact that it's expensive to afford sanitary napkins. So I have decided to go on a campaign to raise 1,000 packs of sanitary napkins and to donate them to special communities and organizations where girls or women are present and of course are having it hard in terms of being able to afford these necessities or items that are necessary. So I want you to join me on this. Ways in which you can join me. One, on a month end when you go shopping, buy two, two extra packs of sanitary napkins and reach out to me. I'm going to give you my contact details at the end of this video. If you are overseas, maybe you want to pack a barrel with just sanitary napkins. Maybe you are a company that specializes in manufacturing sanitary napkins. I actually prefer to get the actual items. Guys, I'm not interested in the cash. I'm really afraid of money. So I really would prefer to get the actual things. If you want to put them in a box or put them in a gift bag, whatever it is, help me raise 1,000 packs of sanitary napkins so that we can give them out. We want to make our voice heard. We want to put our mark out there supporting a cause. Now, how can you reach me? I am on Instagram at Uniquely Me TV Talk Show, as well as God's Daily Portion, and of course on YouTube, Uniquely Me with Simone Stewart. You can reach me via WhatsApp 1-876-856-5769 to let me know how that you are interested in supporting this cause and what it is that you intend to do, and then we'll make the arrangements to pick up those sanitary napkins. Guys, we're going to do this together, right? 1,000 pack, campaigning for 1,000 packs of sanitary napkin to help in raising awareness on period poverty. Thank you so much, guys. Let me tell you, this will go a long way. And we're not looking for the thank yous. What we're looking for is helping someone else in need. Remember, of course, uniquely means uniquely you. I have a daughter, guys. I don't know what tomorrow will bring for her. But of course, we want to put some good works out there in the atmosphere. So help me raise awareness on the matter of period poverty by, of course, contributing 1 pack of pad or more. We want to go 1,000 packs of sanitary napkins for our girls and women. Thank you. This season of Uniquely Me is sponsored by Design Hub for all your printing and publishing needs. Woman's Touch, the healthiest pad in any aisle. Earth Elements, nourishing body, mind, and spirit. All natural, organic skin, hair, and body care supply store. Hi everyone, welcome to another episode of Uniquely Me with Simone Stewart. This week we are going to be talking with another phenomenal woman, or what we call them unique woman, or women for want of a better word. We are going to be talking about the strength of a woman. We've heard that so many times. Strength of a woman. I won't bother with the singing. Yes, well, we're going to be talking about the strength of a woman, you know, how we overcome our trials and struggles. People see us in society, they see us on TV and in the space, but do they know what we have been through? Well, I have another awesome woman to share her story of being in a space which she had no business being in, for want of a better word, going through depression at its worst, finding out the strength and value of family, to becoming a woman, an empowered woman. Stay tuned. When we come back, you'll hear more. Who is this awesome guest?
Uniquely me is uniquely you. Balancing the different acts of life, achieving all your goals in the name of Christ. Uniquely me is uniquely you. You can do anything. With the S on your chest, you can do all things through Christ who gives you strength. You are a winner and you're an overcomer. You can be all things to Christ who gives you strength, yeah. You are a fighter, you're so determined. Uniquely me is uniquely you.
So welcome back to Uniquely Me with Simone Stewart. Guys, this week I'm talking with Donaree Muirhead. Donna, welcome to Uniquely Me. So good to have you.
Thank you so much for having me.
Girl, listen, I've been looking forward to this interview for a very long time. It's simply because of how we met. And the moment I sat in the audience to hear you speak, I was like, I need her on my show. I need her on my show. And just what you represent, and then us just staying afterwards. We won't tell anybody that we were outside curfew hours. You know what I mean? Talking, but you left me with so much, and no doubt no wonder you're called the empowered coach, but we soon get there. Donna, tell us a little about where you're from and that kind of thing, because I'm sure a number of persons know you, but where you come from?
You come from country, Simone.
Look here, I hope I'm Mobile called country now, because everybody like call Mobile country and in a name country. So
I'm going to tell you, so Montego Bay is the city.
Yes.
We come from country. I'm from Maroon Town, St. James, up in the country, up in the mountain.
Yes.
I grew up in a small community called Summer Hill.
Mm-hmm.
So the more popular space is called Maroon Town or Malden because of the high school that is in the community.
Yes.
But the correct name of where I'm from is called Summer, as in summer, winter.
Yes.
Summer Hill.
Mm-hmm.
I grew up in a matriarchal space. So
right.
Until I was about 12, my grandmother was in the home, but she died just about when I was turning 12.
Yeah.
And my mother grew
mm-hmm.
me.
Mm-hmm.
My mother is a strong woman.
Yes.
She's not a loud woman.
Mm-hmm.
She's not a in-your-face woman. But Simone, she is a powerhouse. My grandmother was small in stature, but she resonated in the space, in the community. Mm-hmm. And so no wonder I am who I am.
Yes.
My mother is a single mother. I have mm-hmm. 2 other brothers from my mom, but I do have other brothers and sisters by my father. Mm-hmm. But I'm a country girl at heart. To mm-hmm. define me is to pretty much put me within a box. Oh. Because I'm always changing. Who I was yesterday, I'm not today. Yeah. And who I am today, I'm not going to be tomorrow. Mm-hmm. But what I can say, there are some constants in terms of who I am, is that I'm determined. Yes. I'm gonna speak my mind. Yeah. I'm gonna get my glory mm-hmm. because God destined for me to be great, for me to live my purpose. Mm-hmm. And so no matter what the downs are, I praise in the downs, because it is really in the valley. It might sound cliche, but in the valley, I am always restored. And so I'm spiritual. God mm-hmm. is always moving in me. I know I might fall off of the path sometimes because human nature and stubbornness, but I mean, I am a child of God.
Well, I like the fact that you spoke about the valley because that's where we spent a lot of time talking about, you had quite a number of valley experiences. Um, I think for me, what stood out was the one where you spoke about, living in a space where there was no lock on the door. And it was seemingly in a war-torn area. I don't remember all of it, but share that with me. How did you end up in such a space?
All right, when you come of age,
Mm-hmm.
parents say it's time for you to move out.
Yeah.
It was one of those times when maybe because mommy feel like me a turn woman and two
Mm-hmm.
women can live under the same roof.
Yeah.
Um, and so I was told to move out and go make life.
Mm.
And moving out to make life,
Yeah.
it was hard.
Yeah.
It was so hard. But I make
Mm-hmm.
it look easy. Because I believe that you're not supposed to look like what you're going through.
Yes,
And so
that I remember you saying, never looking like what you're going through. I don't forget that. Yes.
and so a lot of people don't know. And for those that are gonna hear it now, it might shock them.
Yeah.
And so in moving out, going on my own, I mean, I've been asked to move out of places that I've rented because me just can't find the rent.
Yeah.
And my grandfather became ill.
Mm-hmm.
He had a house in Norwood,
Yes.
Norwood, and the house, his part became empty because he always had tenants in that house.
Yeah.
And the house became dilapidated, and I lived in there.
Mm-hmm.
So I went there to live, but my son couldn't live with me in that space
Mm-hmm.
because I'd asked my mother that even though she said move out time,
Yeah.
I couldn't have him in that space. And I asked her, could you take him back?
Yeah.
And she's not gonna say no to that. And
Yes.
so
Yes.
at that point in time, he was living with my mother. But on those days when I lived in Norwood, there were mornings when I wake up and I would only have this 30 copper silvers. I'll never forget that morning when I
Mm-hmm.
counted my money, all I had was those 30 small monies that nobody used.
Mm-hmm.
And that's all I had to my name.
Yeah.
The doors weren't secure.
Yeah.
I used to put a chair behind the doors
Yeah.
just so that breeze don't blow it open.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I remember I posted on social media sometime this week that I
Yeah.
remember one night I came home and just as me take off my clothes, a guy just breaking out of the house and saw me naked. And I just started screaming.
Yeah.
And it was just in screaming that he got frightened and ran out. But I did call the police. And his explanation was that he saw the light on and he must come in to turn it off because GPS expensive.
Hold on, me not mean Oh Lord Jesus.
So he was doing me a favor by breaking in. He didn't know that I was there.
He was just coming to turn the light off for you, girl.
Yeah, that's his explanation. That's what he told the police.
Uh-huh.
I mean, it was a light moment because now it's a light moment, but at the time I was terrified. I couldn't sleep in the house that night. I had to go down and sleep with my friend Desrika, who lived maybe like about 4 houses down.
Yeah.
And from that, I started staying with her. And she was going through a valley experience at that time. And I can tell you, those were the times that we prayed.
Yeah.
And those were the times that we used one tin of mackerel and serve for breakfast and dinner for both of us.
Yeah.
With just rice. And nobody could tell that I was going through that time.
Yeah.
And during that time, I wasn't full-time employed. I would get projects here and there. I would turn my hand and make fashion. As a matter of fact, it was during that time that I registered Empowered Interactions for the first time.
Wow.
It was during that time that I found professionals to go. I was offering, so when I decided that, hey, this is a valley I'm gonna climb out, I started a human resource company where I was providing household helpers. I was providing nannies. I was providing gardeners, janitors. To tell you the truth, I became innovative during that time, 2011, 2012 into 2013.
I'm just listening to you that you are sharing that you started a business in your valley experience, living where you know no lock on the door, people are broken because they want to come, them a save your light bill, for want of a better word, and you started a business. When you going through your own valley experience, you and your friend are share a wanted a mackerel and thing, and you started a business. What is it that you think made you so resilient, Donaree? What was it? Because you know, when we talk to a lot of our women, you know, the rough times, they're dependent on men, they're dependent on different persons who are taking advantage of them. But you decide that you will start a business.
Because I wanted to provide for myself. I knew that better was there. I knew that also that God was testing me, and I needed to prove to him that his grace was sufficient, and that even though I did not have finances, nothing, my core did not change.
Yeah.
And that is important. My finances were low.
Yeah.
But who I am never changed.
Yeah.
And even during that time, it wasn't just that friend that I stayed with. I run robin with several friends. A lot of them did not know that I needed shelter.
Yeah.
They wanted me around them because of my presence, what it meant to them. It was just so fascinating looking back.
Yeah.
That people wanted me to be around them because my energy was so pure, and my energy was fuel for them as well. It was just an amazing time.
Yeah. Technical difficulties. We will be right back, guys, while we try and fix these technical difficulties. So pause. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you're just tuning in, yes, it is Uniquely Me with Simone Stewart, season 5, guys. And of course, this week we're talking about the strength of a woman. Donaree Muirhead. Oh, I'm sorry. Donna, I'm here talking about season 5. It's season 4.
Oh, it's a season 5.
But Donna, we want to talk now about, you know, you had a baby. You just had your son, and you know, you went into a state that kind of incapacitated you for a while. Share with us what happened. I know a few people know, but I mean, when I heard it, it really moved my heart. What happened? What led you to going into seemingly a coma for a few days?
All right, so seemingly a coma. My son was 6 weeks that particular day.
Yeah.
And it was 6 weeks. I remember we went to 6-week clinic in the morning.
Yeah.
And then I want to say that the morning when I was bathing him inside of the room.
Yeah.
When I took him out of the bath, I held him up in the air. And it just clicked.
Yeah.
That somewhere in the Bible mentioned giving back your firstborn son to the Lord. Yes. And it was just in raising him up. I said, God, this is my firstborn child. It's a boy. And today I give him back to you. And I started to worship. And I remember my cousin Melissa, who lived with us, was passing the room, and she saw me and she said, hey, the evangelist start. And at the same time, I started to preach protection over her. Okay. And I started to plead the blood of Jesus inside of the house. And I started to say, God, just cover this house, every corner from east to west and from north to south. I didn't know what was going to happen that night.
Right.
And so that night I was in bed, my son was beside me.
Yeah.
And I just felt a shadow over me. I was sleeping. And when I jumped up, it was a gunman right at my bedside. And I remember I stretched and just break off the night light. Yeah. And him just put the gun in my face and him said, if you make no noise, me kill you. Wow. And then I saw another one come in the room, and then another one came in the room. So it was 3 gunmen. Yeah. And there was another short figure that was standing at the doorway. He didn't have a gun. Yeah. And I remember they said to me that they want money, and if I don't give them money, they're going to kill my child. Yeah. And it was at that point I started to negotiate.
Yeah.
Somewhere in my psyche,
Mm-hmm.
it said to me that de-escalate. And so I did, I wasn't shouting, I wasn't angry, I was talking so soft and
Yeah.
just carrying them down. And we
Yeah.
started a negotiation. And I said, hey, guess what? Nobody is inside here that is gonna fight you back. We're gonna give you what you want. It's just
Yeah.
me, my baby, my mother,
Mm-hmm.
my little niece who was 4 years old, and my brother is 13. I said, my brother can't fight you back. He's in the
Yeah.
next room. My mother is in her room. And one of
Yeah.
them left and went to his room and started beating up my brother. And so in
Wow.
his screaming, yes, my mother ran out of her room.
Yeah.
And then one of them just pulled her up and put a gun in her neck. And I'm going to tell you, Simone,
Yeah.
long and short of this story is that was maybe like about Wednesday.
Yeah.
We went to the doctor. Doctor said I should don't give the baby no breast milk because of the stress that was happening inside of my body with the elevated hormones. It might damage him and all of that.
Yeah.
And so we didn't go back to the house. We went to my mother's eldest sister, and
Right.
we were staying at her house. And I remember the Sunday,
Yeah.
my mother made the formula. And as I was about to feed the baby, I
Yeah.
felt my body shaking, violently shaking.
Yeah.
And I realized that I couldn't hold the baby anymore.
Right.
And I just walked towards the living room and I said, Mommy, take the baby. And when I
Yeah.
gave the baby to her and I went back into the room,
Yeah.
I started hearing some voices in my head. It was
Yeah.
the repetition of what the gunman was saying, that I'm going to kill the baby, I'm going to kill the baby, I'm going to kill the baby. And it was just playing over and over.
Yeah.
I covered my head with the pillow, Simone,
Yeah.
and I started to scream beneath the pillow.
Yeah.
And that was it. So in screaming, it drew the attention of the family.
Yeah.
And I knew what was happening, but I couldn't control myself.
Wow.
I could hear them talking, but I couldn't respond. And they brought me to Coma Regional Hospital.
Yeah.
And it was for days that I couldn't talk, but I could hear them. After they brought me home, every noise would frighten me.
Yeah.
It was just my cousins had to feed me, had to bathe me, had to put on my clothes. It was a time, it was for days that they had to be doing that. I didn't know myself. I was weak, I couldn't stand, I couldn't sit. So
Yeah.
apparently my muscles went.
Yeah.
Talk, but I could hear what was happening around me.
So it sounds to me, Donna, as if you had this is post trauma from what happened. Is that how would the doctors have described this?
I remember they said it was both of them together. So it was it triggered postpartum,
right,
and it was the post-traumatic stress as well. Different.
Yeah.
So it was the two of them together.
right,
Whatever that comes to, I don't know.
yeah,
But in that time, if I hold my baby, he would scream.
yes,
For me, it was like for no reason at all. And then I started to think that my baby was resenting me.
whoa,
And so, in thinking that my baby was resenting me, Simone, it started a next cycle of other things that my baby don't want to be with me. But what the doctor was explaining was that when I held my baby so close, he could feel all the tremors inside of my body that nobody else could feel. So he could sense all of that. And it was causing turmoil in him as well.
Oh my God. You are giving us a front seat into a mother and a baby, Donna. A real front row seat. But Donna, how did you overcome that? What was it that helped you during that period?
What helped me was, I'm going to tell you that there are some women, older women, who could be my grandmother, my aunts, were in that mix as well. My mother's niece, her sister-in-law. These are church people. These are, let me tell you, Holy Ghost people. They would come to the house and they would tabernacle in that place, Simone.
Yes, yes.
it's
Yeah.
unexplainable what was taking place in that house.
Yes.
Every day they would come and they would keep service.
My God.
And even though I couldn't respond,
Yeah.
family.
Yes.
But I mean, some old women that went to church with my grandmother that died when I was 12.
Yes.
I mean, and it wasn't just from our church, but it was the New Testament church, it was the Methodist church, it was the Baptist church.
Yes.
And even people who didn't come to the house, every
Yes.
church was holding fire for us because of where we lived in the middle of the square, and because our family is so known.
Yeah.
So what was happening in the community was that people were saying that if this could happen to them,
Yes.
not to anybody, because you know, you hear things that when it happened to a particular family, it would shake the entire community. So that's what was happening.
So you're recognizing, Donna, that even though, yes, you were going through, God was using what you were going through to unite the church, to unite a group of persons in the church. I don't know if you realize that, right? Because like you said, it wasn't just your church, it was women, prayer warriors from different areas coming together, right? And the strength of family. My God, talk about the strength of a woman to unite a community. My God. You know, I just want to take this moment to just salute those women who were with you during that time, because listening to you, Donna, and having had a first-hand conversation with you, how you went through that time and what you went through and what brought you out, I just want to take this time to just salute those women right now, you know, and just thank them for just being obedient and helping to reinforce you when you couldn't do much for yourself. My God. So my darling, you overcame and you made it into Kingston. What brought you to Kingston, Donna? God, that was another miracle.
This experience was before I was living in Norwood.
Yes.
Because I was living with my mother. I'd gone back home and I found out that I was pregnant.
Yes.
I'd gone back home to live with my mother. And so after I have my baby and all of this, you know, but I move out again. And so this that I'm telling you about was before the experience with the man that came into my place.
Yeah.
Coming into Kingston was wow. It was during the time I was jobless.
Yeah.
Finances were low.
Yeah.
And I'm going to tell you, one Sunday morning, I went to Faith Temple Church.
Yeah.
So the night before, I was supposed to go to a party with some friends, and I was driving to the party, and in the middle of almost getting to the party, something overcame me and said, "Don't bother go to that party there."
Yeah.
And I turned back to my friend's house that I was staying, Monique. And the next morning, all of us, even though she come back from the party just in time, she bathed, and we went to Faith Temple. It was the first time I was going to Faith Temple Church. And while I was there, Faith Temple is the one that Reverend Pitkin pastors at, right? You would know.
Yes. Go up Doom Street and go up a little bit more. Yes.
That one. Yes. And I went there. And in the middle of worship, I was there worshiping. And I was worshiping God for a miracle.
Yes.
And Reverend Pitkin come off of the platform and walk down and take me out of the pew. No, I'm not a member of the church.
Yes.
And he took me out of the pew and said, "You come." And he laid hands on me.
Yeah.
And the man started to prophesy over my life.
Yes.
And that was the breakthrough.
My God.
I mean, what happened? He laid me on the floor. And I was there, and I'm going to tell you that when I got up, I was a new person. I knew the breakthrough had come.
Yes.
And during the week, I went back to the church and I told him that I wanted to volunteer. But here I am needing a job.
Yeah.
But giving service for free.
Come
offering
on.
myself for free.
Yeah.
And he was puzzled. He's saying that we don't normally take people who are not members of the church to volunteer because we don't know their background. And, they want to be careful. We don't know you. We don't know what you represent. And I mean, he said, there's just something. And then he sent me to the media department and saying that we can probably start with them. I go and tell you the very same week, a friend of mine called me and said, send me your resume. So here I am offering what I did not have. And so I came to Kingston to do the job interview for a position in Montego Bay. And during the interview, this gentleman who came down from Washington, because it's an international donor agency, and he said to me, would you mind coming to Kingston to work? No, I thought that it was the equivalent capacity that I would work in Kingston in. But lo and behold, I was elevated during the interview to a mid-manager position on that project.
Yes.
And so that is the beginning of me in Kingston. I worked on that project for years.
Yes.
And that project ended.
Yeah.
And I'm still here because I find that sometimes what you're not able to do in the space that you grew up in, you're able to do greater things in a new land. And that's what's happening, Simone.
So it's one of those, what you call it? No, it's moving you out like a Abraham. Pick up your belongings and move out, right? Because there's places to conquer. Now, you did something amazing. I call it amazing. You got up in the midst of a pandemic and left your job. Like when I heard you say that the presentation, I was like, I'm just so proud of that girl. She's just so bold. But you left in a pandemic and you started, well, I don't think you know what you were going to do, but you decided that enough was enough and you're moving on. But I'm saying that, but it was purpose calling you. And so that purpose has led you to reinforce or really take into consideration empowered interactions. What is empowered interactions, Donna?
It's what I do.
Yeah.
It's what I do. It's two ways. So it's not me doing anything, but it's just energy in a space. That it's a calling.
Yeah.
It's a ministry, if I must say.
Yes. I agree.
I struggle with calling myself a life coach because of how pretty it looks.
Yeah.
My purpose is to help people to cross over.
Yeah.
Too many people are on the other side and are afraid to cross over into greatness.
Come on.
And there's just something when me open my mouth. The same mouth that them used to tell me, say me chat too much and you not learn and you not pay attention because you chat too much, but me can't keep my mouth locked, Simone.
Hey, come on, girl. Yeah, come on. Fire shut up in Jeremiah said fire shut up in his bones, but for you it's fire shut up in your mouth.
And I find that when I walk out of my job, it was from being uncomfortably in confinement.
Yes.
And so my mantra last year was think, believe, manifest.
Yes.
And I took it from my girlfriend, Rhonda.
Yes.
And then this year, my mantra is, I am not asking for permission, I'm taking what's mine.
Come on, girl. I'm liking that. Yeah.
Because too many times we ask for permission as if it does not already belong to us. Too many times we are afraid to write our name on things that belong to us as if we think that it is too good for us.
Yes.
And so we must declare, we must define.
Yes.
And we must demand as well. the things that are held back. There was a song that says, taking back what the devil has stolen from me.
Yes, yes.
And so in this season, I'm not asking the devil for permission to claim what is mine.
Yes, yes.
And so empowered interactions is really provoking people to take what belongs to them, to step into their greatness.
Yes.
Recognize that everything that you ever wanted is already given unto you. You just need to be brave enough to say, this is in me, this is my season.
Yes.
The seeds were already planted. A harvest time.
Yeah.
Too many of us stay below earth for too long, as if we are buried, but we are not buried, we are planted. And for the valley season can also be seen as the season of germination in darkness.
Come on, girl. Come on, come on, come on. Now you're talking. Yeah.
And so, you see, I use the analogy all the time of a seed. When you plant a seed, you know, it down there as if nothing going on, you know.
Yes.
But when you plant the seed, one little something come out and turn down. Those who study plant biology will know that it's called the radicle, radicle. But I call it the radical.
Yes.
Because it went turn down first, further. So sometimes when you feel like you're down, there is a little bit further down for you to go.
Yes.
And then you're going to rise. And so in rising, just like the new plant, just shake off the earth and just come up and receive sun. And make photosynthesis take place in your life.
My God.
You understand? And so that is what empowered interactions is. Helping you to understand the phases that you're going through.
Yes.
And help you to understand that even though there's darkness, you're not buried, you're not in a coffin.
Yes, yes.
You're planted. Just continue to just stand firm. And when the farmer plant the seed, him don't go every day, go dig up to see if it will come up. Just hold your position.
Right. Yes, yes. Donna, listen, I don't think there's a better way to define what empowered interaction is. And for those who are wondering, it is spelled MPOWERED, right? You need to go and look for Donaree Muirhead on Instagram, and you are going to see all of what she's talking about there. She's also on YouTube. It's all there. Go check her out, guys. But Donna, we're about to wrap up. We've been looking at the strength of a woman, and listening to you and listening to what you have been through has definitely allowed us to see that we women are stronger than we think we are, right? And they might, when them say, lift me up, fling me down, me rise, I get right back up. And that has been, we just heard a synopsis of your story. You posted something that left me, you disturbed my entire day with it. And I even put a little post there to say, boy, you mess up my entire day, because I saw it first thing in the morning. You showed a picture of steel bent up, and you posted something underneath there. I want you to share with us. That's your closing message to us to wrap up this. What is it that you said about that steel? What is it that you want us to understand about steel? You remember that post?
So the picture that I posted is actually from the construction side that I work on. I don't know if you know that I work on a construction side.
No, me never know that.
Yes, all of this nice girl here. I'm a site manager on a construction site. And so I'm not afraid of spaces, because wherever I go, as I tell you, that the core remains. So the steel, it's a bundle of steel, you know, because we have demolished a house to create apartment building. And for the steel come from the whole house, from the foundation, from everything, and it's garbage if you look at it. Yes. Yeah, man. It's what them call all iron showdown, where them would have used. It's gonna go to Riverton. Yes. That is where it is destined for. Yes. But when I look at the steel, you know, somebody look at it as garbage. But the steel, the essence of what the steel represents does not change. The strength of the steel remains, even though other people may not understand that the worth is there. So even though you are going through a time when you might be pulled up, rooted up what you thought you represented is no longer pretty.
Yes.
But you are rooted up,
Yes.
you pull up your garbage to go to the garbage dump.
Yes.
The essence of who you are does not change.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
The strength of this steel does not change. And I'm going to say this to people. It doesn't matter if at this point in time on your journey, you've been rooted up, you've been twisted, you've been bent. And what you thought that you held up a strong, beautiful structure, if the structure is no longer there, remember that you are the steel in the situation, and your strength and your purpose does not change. And so even though you look like garbage,
you're still steel.
Just redesign yourself, man.
Yes.
Because your core remains.
Yes.
And that is what I want to leave the beautiful people with.
Yes. Oh my God. Girl, I had my hands up just worshiping, because I have a feeling this word going to come back, come haunt me again, but not in a bad way. It's a word that sometimes for real, we really think that we're no longer good for nothing after we've up a structure for so long. And when you thought that, you should be fully established, it seems that's when you're rooted up and thrown aside. And as you say, en route to Riverton City, the dumpy, but you're still steel. Girl, I want to thank you so much for coming on and really sharing your heart, Donna. I have this thing called transformational chat that I do every quarter. No doubt the next one you are on it, because we need to strengthen some woman. Right? We need to allow some woman to understand that, listen, you're still woman. No matter what others say about you, you're still woman. Yeah, man, you're still steel. Get up, get dressed. Yeah. And go again. And you left something with me. Conversation we had our face-to-face, that still get up, still show up. Get yourself together. Nobody needs to know. Huh?
Don't look like what you're going through, girl.
That's it.
Don't look like what you're going
through. Love it. Honey, thank you so much for just coming again and just reinforcing us. That we are women. We are women, and there's still strength in us, and it doesn't matter what we may look like, there's still strength in us. I bless you, and I look forward to following you, of course, and seeing those powerful messages that you can continue to put out. I also pray that you will experience an enlarged territory where empowered interactions is concerned. I continue to bless you. Enlarged territory, my darling. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Simone. It's been a blessing.
You're welcome. So guys, that's it. Another episode of Uniquely Me has come to an end. And you heard it, of course, from an empowered woman herself, having gone through the struggles, has survived and is thriving. And even when it looked like not Nangwan, she's still showing up and reminding us we're still a woman, we're still steel. So guys, make sure that you have subscribed, you have pushed that notification bell, and you're staying tuned, because next week we have another unique story coming right at you. Thank you. I'll see you next week. Bye-bye.
Who am I really? Choices. In pursuit of a career? OMG, I'm a wife. Help! I am a mother. Oh, I'm in church. When do I get to be a woman that God called me to be? Uniquely Me covers the acrobatic endeavors of every woman to balance the responsibilities of being a mother, a wife, a professional, a church leader, a friend, yet still maintain her identity. I too am a mother, a wife, a trained minister of religion, a banker, an entrepreneur, trying to balance the many hats that signifies my role. My book will help motivate and empower every woman who is really unique in her own way. Grab your copy today on Amazon, because Uniquely Me is uniquely you.
Thank you for tuning in to Uniquely Me with Simone Stewart. Remember, Uniquely Me is uniquely you.